Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for this evening, early evening, Pat Scorpio, the New England represent, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is LB, a lot of Del Boss, aka Shutterworth, the God, the GOAT, artist, Soul Wars creator, RainGangRadio.com, in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring in the
Special
house. Special time
for
of
the
day.
podcast.
Yeah, we usually don't do it at this time of the day. This is one of them rare times, especially on a weekday.
On a Wednesday, like,
On a
the fuck
Wednesday,
y'all doing?
When the sun is still out and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man. And as always, Ring Game House forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's fly? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, aka the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender, lift off Destination Ring Radio.
So that's what I'm talking about. Conscious Pilot, always elevating above the masses. That's what's good. And King P will be joining us a little later, and obviously, he'll do his thing. But yeah, we're definitely gonna get started though. I mean, we have two things we're gonna talk about. What will be later will be our discussing our latest poll topic on pound for pound list that the Ring just recently released, and I'm pretty sure that'll be an interesting conversation. But before we get into that, because like I said, Ring Gang, we do other things too, and another thing that we love to do is movies. We love movies. We love watching movies, violent movies, violent action movies or comedy. If something, or even just a regular ass good ass movie. We love movies, and the one that we are gonna review today, and it's gonna have spoilers, people. So just to let you know, is Army of the Dead. Starring Dave Bautista, and that was released on Friday on Netflix. And we were just talking offline prior to this, talking about how Netflix before used to have what we like to call real nigga movies. Movies that that you just put on and you're just like, oh shit, this is like one of the underrated, low key movies. Like Night Comes for Us or Extraction. There we go. I actually remember the name of that damn movie. And we did reviews on both of those movies. And they were very entertaining. And
yeah, Extraction was dope. Had a Netflix ending, but
sometimes it bees like that, man. Sometimes Netflix can't help itself. They turn themselves into a movie studio. They're like, okay, look, you're gonna end it this way, and then ain't no more words we can have about that. That's
ambiguous fadeaway ending. Anticlimactic ass ending. I'll say this: The Revenger was probably one of the best Netflix movies I've seen as far as ending goes.
Word.
The straight up no frills, like I need to beat your ass to get revenge, and that's it.
And it was probably ambiguous enough for Netflix that they actually let that shit slide through.
They better had. How else could you end this shit? A dude is beating up everybody on a fucking island, and then you say he doesn't fight the boss when he leaves before the boss get his turn. Like, nah, like some shit you just can't fuck up unless you try to, and which is real, fitting for this type of movie because I feel like they almost tried to fuck it up with certain shit.
Yeah, Army of the Dead. Yeah, they did. Make no mistake, I enjoyed Army of the Dead. I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I said, for zombie movies, it takes a lot for someone to fuck up a zombie movie. And if you do fuck up a zombie movie, I will rip it to shreds. So luckily this was not the case. Army of the Dead. Usually, for once, it's not like Army of the Dead where it's like a virus. Or some shit like that, and virus that runs on. It's not like on some Resident Evil shit or 28 weeks later. So they actually had something I've never really seen in the zombie movie. They actually tried to mix it in as like a fucking like it's like some Ocean's 8, Ocean's 11 type of shit. You know what I mean?
They brought some more elements to the game. Honestly, it kind of reminded me of Peninsula, really. The whole premise.
Or either that, or like a little bit of like Zombie Land, and a little bit like some parts of it. If you've seen Zombie Land,
the whole adventure, we have to get something like.
It had some Walking Dead in there. A lot.
They put a lot of zombie shit in this one, actually.
Yeah, and
Smorgasbord.
Yeah, and something like that is and usually something like that could could easily make could easily give you like plot holes galore. But this movie definitely does its best to tie them up, and it tied it up pretty good in some cases. So
yeah. So Pilot, what was your general impression of the movie? Like, how do you feel about it?
Not a better way to go out dying, getting some head and crashing your car.
Word.
No, but I mean, the scoring and the intro after that, after the whole initial, intro where they had the music shown and how like the new life was, and this kind of like these little clips of what this new world is. It was dope. I mean, the movie itself, I like that. That one cop guy, I seen him like Luke Cage, I think it was, but he's like the new. I don't know if you watch Bait with Jimmy Fox, the David Morse, that dirty cop guy. You know what I'm talking about? He always plays a dirty role. They're making this guy like that guy Teo Rossi, I think his name is. They're making him like the new fucking urban bad white guy and shit.
Yeah,
you mean Tanaka's henchman?
He was the one in Luke Cage. I forgot. He came a little bit later in Luke Cage. But
oh, you talking about Shades?
Yeah, Shades. Yep, Shades. Exactly, Shades. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the kind of typecasted as like the kind of asshole role, but is he a good guy? What side? But anyway, yeah. I mean, the movie was cool.
Shit good.
Bautista's not really a good actor. I'm a former wrestling head. Bautista's kind of a shitty actor, but whatever. He played the role well. Goes from power. My dude kills his role. I think. Obviously. It looked realistic. They put a lot of money and time and effort into it.
There's somebody else from Power too. Wasn't it one of the cartel's sisters?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of familiar faces in there. I mean, that was good casting. Yeah. I mean, obviously they put a big budget up to it. So I just thought, storyline was kind of hit or miss. I read a lot of people about saying the daughter storyline was kind of stupid.
It didn't make no sense. I mean, pretty much you want to take this suicide ass missing, get some money so you can hope for a reconciliation because he had to put a bullet in her mother's brain because she turned to a zombie.
It was cliche. It was another spoiler. It's cliche and ironic. She puts the bullet through his brain and then right. So
exactly.
Full circle.
I mean, yeah, full circle. But no, I mean, overall, I mean, it was a good watch. I mean, it was. One of the better movies I watched this year. To be honest, I haven't really watched too many movies, but
yeah, no, it was definitely like in the. I mean, the only thing I'll disagree is Batista. I personally, I think Batista is actually one of the better wrestler turned actors. Like, I'll say this in terms of his movies. Like between him and The Rock, like The Rock is the better actor, but The Rock doesn't really pick the best movies sometimes, or he picks the safe movies. Whereas Batista, I mean, although he has a safe movie, he has Drax the Destroyer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He picks gritty ass movies that show more that that you have to focus more on his acting ability than the fact that he's just a big roided out
boom
guy.
Yeah, you're right.
But then he knows how to pick those roles where they need a big guy, and he excels and he kills that shit too. Because if you've seen that Yip Man movie, he was one of the bad guys in that, and he killed that part.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of dope movies, like The Escape, Hotel Artemis.
I remember that one.
Yeah, The Escape.
I've never fucking seen that. I got it. That's on my list. Like
he's pretty witty.
That's pretty dope. Even the lower movies, like even the movies, like I mean, I didn't like the Kickboxer Vengeance all that much, but he killed it as Tong Po in that.
Yeah, he did. I fucked with that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then I know too he's gonna be in one. He's later on this year. He's gonna be in one of the biggest films this year in Dune. That's gonna be on HBO Max. So like, dude picks some really good movies. Like, and he shines in them too. And he was also in that Blade Runner remix too. And I didn't even like that movie all that much, but he killed his part in that too.
I didn't even see that. Like, damn, I'm realizing I was busy, man. Busy, bro.
No, you busy.
I missed some fucking movies.
Yeah. I mean, he does his thing. So I mean, Batista, and he did his thing in this movie. Like, I mean, like I say, you can feel his anguish and like the fact that he's tortured by what he had to do. In terms of Vic, he tried to be a cook. Like he didn't want to do that shit no more. But old dude from Mortal Kombat, Scorpion, one of the good parts of Scorpion. Hiroyuki Sanada, but he was in there as the boss. He killed this little short role too on there. And he was like, hey, man, this is a suicide mission, man. Get this money and you good. with the thing is, obviously they're gonna nuke the whole place in like 24 hours or some shit like that if they don't get out in time.
Then the deadline, got pushed up.
Yeah. So I mean that's where there's like, so between doing that and then of course now you're like, okay, it's guarded by zombies, and this is where I've never really seen in other zombie movies. Like they have these zombie movies as like, zombie movies. Although in other zombie movies, zombies get killed by bullets to the head or cut off the heads or whatever, and that's the same thing here. But they're actually intelligent for some odd reason, or somewhat intelligent.
These zombies have like prime Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker head movement. Like
I'm saying, like
what the fuck? Like that's a super nightmare to deal with.
Like they're not on some coming straight to you like in straight format trying to bite you or some shit.
Shit's is bobbing and weaving like Tyson and shit. Like
and they got super strength too. Like I mean, like they're capable of you throw hands at them, they'll throw hands back. they're not trying to. I mean, they're much more trying to bite, and so that's why it made it so raw. When you see like the alpha zombie in there, and he was fucking up some shit too, like
Yeah. Damn, he was like the movie was dope overall, but man, it just had some parts that just made me shake my fucking head, yo.
And what was that?
First of all, it's like you got the coyote just bringing people in there, knowing damn well they're not gonna make it. Like people going in there to just try to get money, and it's like, like what the fuck, like.
Yeah.
so that right there is just crazy, in itself, because you got regular ass people convincing themselves that they could go into Vegas and steal money, and they've been doing that the whole time. And then you got trained mercenaries coming, and they got a reason, and they actually got training and the resources and shit, and so I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
The whole daughter angle was so fucking forced.
Yeah, they tied it up, and they tied it up in a way that it wouldn't be like a glaring plot hole. But it's just like, I wanted at least for
it was forcibly tied up though, man. It wasn't like that whole part just wasn't organic. Like I see what they was trying to do, but when them trying to force it, and then the countdown is ticking, and you got motherfuckers just taking their time, acting like the helicopter just gonna be on the roof forever, and and then you risk everybody's lives and kill to find somebody who ends up dying anyway.
I'm saying,
like that shit was just but to me they had more raw things like dope shit than they had shit that was whack.
Yeah,
my score is always still gonna be favorable. I'm not one of these people who let little shit irk them, but they had, but if you got enough good shit to override it, then I let it go.
Yeah, and then it's like some characters in there, they were just introduced, and they don't even have a backstory. Like Amari Hardwick, like I mean, his backstory was just like non-existent, pretty much. Like they just
didn't even get to use his fucking saw.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Like I mean, he was player hating too. Like Theo Rossi, who played the bad cop, he looked like he was ready to use that shit, and he was player hating. He's like, nah, nigga, give me back my.
He won't use it on a female.
Yeah,
his scumbag ass.
Yeah, and also I didn't like this. I didn't like the guy who played the safe cracker. He was kind of annoying. They made him a little bit too flighty for my liking. It's like oh my god, I killed a zombie. The dude was out here like jeez, guy, like calm down, bro. Just shoot a zombie in the fucking head, man. Jeez, like you don't have to make his character all like sissy, like damn.
They kind of, it's like certain shit they go overboard with, and then certain shit you're like, why you ain't play that up? Like Chambers was like a dope character, and it's like you killed one of the rawest characters in the movie early as fuck, and in a situation that looked savable. I'm like, y'all could just run 10 feet and kill the zombies by her. Like, what y'all doing? Y'all gonna watch her die? Like,
yeah.
And they kept making her survive like she was going to survive. Like every other minute, you're like, damn, okay, she has to be dead. And then boom, I'm here. Da, 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 da. Then you're like, okay, now she has to be dead. Then
Yeah,
boom, she busts through the window. Like the fuck.
Yeah, she was a soldier, bro.
Yeah, she was definitely raw. Like I said, the movie has some dope elements. I don't know. I don't understand the people who's like, man, this shit trash. It's mid. Like something with that much effort, time, and money. It's hard to make a zombie movie on that level terrible.
Right.
Let's be honest. Like it's just hard.
I don't know what people expect sometimes. You know, people like some of the critiques, that whether it be music or TV, is a little too much sometimes. I mean, just enjoy it for what it is, entertainment. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, they did. I mean, at least for the zombies. I mean, everyone knows like the zombies. I mean, it came from Area 51. You know, the zombie was most likely something like I think it was like intergalactic, like whatever.
Yeah, it gives an alien fucking zombie. Like they alluded to that, and the lights and shit, and the stars in the beginning. Like,
yeah. I thought they executed that shit perfectly instead of just having to be some random ass virus or whatever that he created. Because that's how these viruses usually
how they usually start. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I know another criticism was the runtime in the movie, but I actually thought that shit like flowed. Like I didn't think
it was too long. It was too long. Like it was a good 20 minutes too long.
I thought it was a little long. Yeah, a little tad bit long.
Because there's so many parts you could really just cut out. Like if you execute the daughter storyline better, a lot of the shit that she went on and did like cuts the movie down.
Yeah.
Even certain parts in the beginning, like when he's recruiting people, and a lot of the shit with the forced storyline with Greta and the kids and all that, like honestly, the movie could be trimmed down by 20 minutes at the minimum, 30 minutes max.
Yeah, 20-ish, definitely.
Yeah, even if you said 15 minutes, that helps it because the movie just was dragging at certain points, but when it gets to the action, it's like, oh man, you're in there 100%. Like,
the action. I mean, like I said, it's one thing that movie just didn't disappoint. The action was on point. You know, like I said, you know, you give me a whole bunch of headshots and decapitations and all types of brutal kills, and I'm a happy guy. Especially in the zombie movie, man. And in the action delivered in spades, man. I loved it. You know, even the zombie kills were crazy. Like even like the one where the head zombie turned old girl's head around, had her looking backwards.
Yeah, that was tough. That was
became unexpected. The zombie tiger fucking up that sellout. That was like one of the best kills. Like he had to get fucked up.
Yeah, especially the trailer, like the zombie tiger, you know, getting, you know, because I was like, man, they're having this tiger do goddamn thing, like this motherfucker's just roaming around and shit, like he owns the shit, like kill somebody,
like have him do something, like shit.
And he did too, he had a great kill too when he killed old boy. That was kind of like, you know, going for self, you know.
Yeah, see, the movie delivers on certain parts. Like I hate when a movie sets up something and then they don't deliver. This movie kind of did that with certain shit, but then it had other shit that is set up, and it delivered real good on. So it's like, okay, like I thought they was gonna have a scene with the rain and the zombies.
True, yeah, so did I.
He said that up. I was like, it's obviously they was trying to build a universe for this world because now I'm reading shit like they got an anime that's gonna be like a prequel that shows the part early in the movie when they're escaping from Vegas the first time.
That's dope.
Yeah, that does sound dope. Like honestly, that could have been the fucking movie.
Yeah, but I know the one thing in the movie that I also didn't really like all that much. I was like when the scene where after the queen zombie is killed, you know, and the alpha zombie takes her back to where they were. And he starts digging all up in their guts, which was kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then pulls out the zombie fetus. I was like, so these zombies were fucking.
Yeah, that was a late ass abortion right there.
Yeah, I'm saying like zombies be fucking now, and like that was the one part I was just like I was like nah, I'm good on that. Like that's not cool. I'm not. I you know unless. Yeah, that was kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't even think about zombies fucking.
Yeah, no, like zombies. All I want my zombies to be is just to be either ultra violent or need to go bite somebody or some shit like that. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
whatever the zombies just wanting some brains, like
Yeah.
on the pause. Zombies want pussy now, so I mean, it's
Yeah,
2021, folks.
yeah, no, I'm saying like yeah, it was like yeah. I mean, that whole scene. That whole scene could have been cut, like really, like because that zombie fetus, it didn't push anything in the story for it. Like, I mean, that was a big plot hole in itself because you didn't know.
Yeah, because honestly, they could have had it when he killed the zombie. The fetus should have just fell out of her den or something, or pop out the stomach, and you kill a whole bullshit scene later.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Yeah, ugh, God, just even thinking about that just makes me. Just,
oh damn, that might have been the worst, but fuck it, like
yeah, But I mean,
I know how my zombie movie's gonna go.
Yeah. Now this movie did really. I mean, now do you guys think this movie ended on a Netflix type of ending or nah?
Nah, I thought it ended good. It didn't end on a Netflix kind of ending.
Yeah, most Netflix you don't get a cliffhanger like, oh, there could be a sequel, because I mean obviously the end of it looks like there's probably maybe more likely a sequel for this, right?
Oh yeah, the anime is a prequel.
Oh, word. Okay.
The anime is basically a whole movie on the little beginning montage they did when you know how they was escaping and they got like the general and all that shit and they're leaving.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is turning. I heard everybody's going to do their voices and shit. The anime is going to be the original team during that part.
Okay.
Which a lot of people felt like should have been a movie from the get go, but whatever.
Yeah, and that shit's gonna be dope. And then the ending itself too. Like, I mean, now granted, like the ending was kind of funny how it all played out. But I mean, it was clear though it was going to happen. Like, you have the one motherfucker that got bit. And he just happens to be on a plane in the air with like 2 or 3 people. It was like, yep, there we go again. It was like,
yeah, I thought that was a dope ending. It's open ended to where like, okay, he could go batshit crazy and crash the plane, or he could turn and take over, and when he land,
yeah,
there's a plane full of zombies. It's like it could go either way, but it took the movie far enough to where like, okay, I could deal with this ending. Netflix would have had that shit ended with the guy. He would have walked out the fucking vault and he looked around and the end.
Yeah, smiled in the end, right? Yeah, exactly.
Or not even that. The movie would have ended when she shot her dad. That's a Netflix ending.
Yeah.
You would be thinking like, well, damn, what happened to the bitch in the helicopter? Hold on, what happened to? Oh, why? Yo, what about the dude in the vault? Like, like, would have been a whole bunch of shit.
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah, and I was happy at least it didn't, because if they gave me a bad ending for this movie, I probably would have been like, you know what? Yeah, I might. Yeah, I would have been like, fuck this movie if the ending was some old bullshit,
Yeah.
But I was happy that it wasn't. So, like I said, so yeah, like I said, we highlight some of the flaws, its pros and cons and whatnot. So now it's time for the score. Pilot. So out of 10, man, what do you give this movie?
I was thinking 6, but thinking again, I'm gonna give it a 7. It's a solid watch. I'd suggest watching it once, maybe. I'd catch it again if it's on TV, but I mean, yeah, I'll give it a 7. It was beautifully shot. They put money and effort into it. I like the cast. I'm a guy who likes casting. When they put a little budget.
So this movie is just as good as Nobody.
Oh, what? No, what I give Nobody?
You voted that a 7 too.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, well, let's make it a 6 then, because I like Nobody a little better. So I'll give it a 6.
Consistency cops.
Yeah. You got the receipt. Sorry, they got the receipt. Sorry, yeah, 6 then. We'll give it a 6 in that case. Nobody was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely spent money on it. I think the budget for this was between 70 and 90 million. So yeah, they definitely did that.
Yeah, niggas put a League of Extraordinary superhero type money behind it.
Yeah, hey, that's Netflix. Like once Netflix blew up, I mean, like movies like this, just regular ass movies got big budgets and shit, man. So I mean, that's a come up. That's a big. I mean, I never thought Netflix would even get to that point, nigga.
I mean, America needed something to compete with Train to Busan and Peninsula. All the other countries been doing the zombie movies better than America since like Dawn of the Dead remake.
Pretty much, especially
if you want to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean definitely. I mean, yeah, I mean American movie. Usually, America when it deals with zombie movies, like it's almost on some old '80s shit. You know, like they're not really not really creative like it is like let's say in Japan or something like that. You know, where that shit where they flourish it, where they actually build that shit out. And then
Like
American,
Japan, you seen I Am Hero?
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's dope, but I wouldn't put that above no Dawn of the Dead remake or nothing.
But then, of course, like I said, then once American studios see this shit, then they copy it and they change some aspect of it, and bam, it's that's how it goes. No idea is original.
And you got to get the right director. If not, you'll have so much extra bullshit in it, like this one.
Mm-hmm.
But they put enough firepower to make it work. So
absolutely. So LB? What about you? What score would you give this?
It's above average. It's not a 6 to me. I'd give it a 7 because it just had some raw ass parts that you can't deny.
Right.
And like the cinematography, like the way it was shot, the kills, the gory, they low key was setting up a good story, universe to expand on it. But I have to put it as a 7 because it's not the best, most recent zombie movie I've seen, and it's not touching a lot of the classics from before. Like, it's not seeing the Horde, which is a French zombie movie from I think 2010 or some shit.
Word.
Which is excellent, by the way, classic. It was the best zombie movie at that time until Train to Busan came out. This is definitely not seeing the motherfucking Train to Busan. And not seeing the fucking sequel to Train to Busan, which is called Peninsula, which they kind of fucked that up because a lot of people didn't even know that was out because it's not named Train to Busan 2.
Yeah.
It's called Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. So who the fuck is gonna look for that? So even I found that late. So the movie was out since last year. It's not seeing Peninsula because Peninsula got the same type of action and big budget shit without the extra 30 minutes of bullshit for storylines and shit.
Word.
But they still give you a good story and it's heartfelt and emotional. Shout outs to Korea. They did their thing on that. Not seeing no 28 weeks later. No Dawn of the Dead remake. So yeah, it's a solid 7. It's definitely worth watching. It's good action, fun movie. You'll definitely be like, oh shit, that was crazy. And then you'll definitely roll your eyes a couple times, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you'll suck your teeth a few times, but yeah, 7. I recommend it. It's a 7.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just need a fun zombie movie where kills are just happening, and that's what. And like I said, we discussed it before. It's just like Netflix needs more of these type of movies on its platform.
Yeah, violence for just violence, for the sake of violence.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
even though they force the storyline out, but the main thing is violence. That's why even with the whole daughter bullshit in the movie, I still can't shit on the movie because the movie still did some great things. So
right. And I mean, I'm just happy it didn't go too modern. If you guys know what I'm talking about, with like what they like some agendas being forced into this thing, which I'm happy.
Yeah.
With,
but they made a joke of that though with Dieter.
Yeah, no, but I mean oh yeah, they did. But
see, that's called execution because I laughed at the time, like it was cool. Like I was like, oh, I see what they doing, but. They didn't beat it over your head, with it.
No, they didn't.
And they had so much of the raw shit. You don't forgot about it. You wouldn't remember it if I didn't even mention that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like, cause that's why I know. Like, if they did it so it was so minute that I didn't pick that up. But anyway, that's good though, because I mean that means that means the movie was executed the way it should have. As a zombie movie that was a thriller. And I give it a 7 too. Like you like for the same reason. Like you're absolutely right. Like, like I said, it like basically, why the story was different from other zombie movies in the past. It didn't really, push the genre into a different area. Like like a new thing. Like where you're like, okay, I can see a whole bunch of other studios copying this shit.
Yeah. It's a good movie for this year, but honestly, when I look back at all the dope ass movies we reviewed this year, this one's more like in the lower end, but it's still better than Mortal Kombat. So
yeah, in a way that's all that matters. It's better than Mortal Kombat.
Because I mean, you got to look at it like I'm trying to think. I'm almost have to bring up the site, but I know nobody. King Kong versus Godzilla. Damn, what else came out that was dope? Paper Tigers. Dude, we've been reviewing a shitload of dope movies. So
yeah, and
every now and then you might get one that's kind of trash, Mortal Kombat, or that's a little above average, Army of Darkness, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, and not every movie we review. I mean, we may anticipate it, but sometimes the movies just may not play out the way we want it to. And sometimes it could be
second Snyder film too. Shit.
Second Snyder. Yeah, I mean that was an excellent film. So yeah,
he did better on Justice League. I'll give him that. he went from he dropped like 3 points though.
Facts. Oh man, but yeah, just like we all recommend it. It's a good watch. It's a great, like I said, if you have a couple hours to kill. Turn it on, man. Just turn your brain off. Like I said, I mean, turn it on, turn your brain off, and get yourself a beer or whatever it is, and just enjoy it, man. Like for what.
Stop looking for goddamn Godfather level Oscar performances in zombie movies. Jeez.
That
shit gotta go.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. It's a zombie movie, and if it's one, it's a plus. But it's not. It doesn't mean it's like a black eye in the genre to not have some Shakespearean acting in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, as long as it's better than Silk the Shocker and fucking Hot Boys, it'll pass.
You good? Yeah.
As far as acting. Oh man,
that's facts. So yeah, I mean, bottom line is watch the movie. You'll enjoy it. Real talk. So I think we are next, but before we go on to our next topic, I do see P is on. King P, man, how are you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Sorry, I'm a little late. You know what I'm saying? I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time.
Hey, there we go. Now, are we in the Stewart?
On time.
Are we in the Stewart today?
No. I'm coming from the Stewart. I was working overtime, man. Them rats had some fucking. Let me tell you, them rats work rate. Them work rate today was fucking Brian Castano level output. I was
Yeah, I can only imagine because I'm pretty sure the heat makes shit all types of crazy in your area.
Yep.
Enough with this with like animals and creatures getting boxer fucking attributes, like zombies with Tyson head movement and now rats with Castano work rates. Like I don't think I'll ever go to New York. Shit. What you want me to brag about gators with fucking what boxer could a fucking gator be like?
I know, and a gator doesn't play by the rules and just bites people.
Oh, Lord.
But it's good to have you on here, Pete. Though and you just on time too, because it's I'm gonna let you bring in our next topic.
All right, here we go. So you know what I'm saying? Let's get into the talk of the town. You know what I'm saying? What's been having everybody buzzing? Because Ring Gang has our ears to the street. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to have our faces in the ground to have our ears in the street. Feel me?
Bars.
So recently, because one thing Ring Gang does do is pound for pound, and so be on the lookout. We got our pound for pound list halfway mark coming. Eventually, you'll get it from us. We're gonna have it right. We're gonna do it the right way. So recently, the highly respected, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want, take that for what it's worth. The highly respected Ring Magazine just dropped their most recent top 10 pound for pound list. And oh my God, there was a lot to say. Like, I don't know who's really doing these lists at Ring Magazine. I don't know if Dougie Fisher is doing this or if he's just signing off on this, but holy shit, there's a lot to talk about. So, you want me to just go through that list real quick?
Absolutely.
So here is the Ring Magazine's top 10 pound for pound list as recent as yesterday. Number 1, as I'll take a quote from Pat Saul Canelo Alvarez, number 1, and rightfully so. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think anybody here at Ring Gang has a problem with that.
No, hold on. We gotta make sure. Hold on, motherfuckers gotta hear me say no. LB, Lauderdale Boss, Shutterworth, Go Artist, whoever the motherfucker you know me as, does not have a problem with Canelo being pound for pound.
Okay, good. So we got that off the way. So now that we got that out the way, okay, and then number 2 was Inoue, the monster, pound for pound number 2. And I think everybody here at Ring Gang agrees with that for the most part.
No problem with that.
No argument.
Yo, you know I ain't got no problem with that.
So 1 and 2 starts off well. Then after 3 is when we start getting a little bit, But number 3 is everybody's controversial favorite, Mr. Terrence Bud Crawford at number 3.
Oh, hell no. Nah, no. Fuck out of here. But keep going.
Number 4, and this is kind of a shocker, number 4 is Alexander Usyk.
Oh, hell no. That's worse than 3.
Which was quite the head scratcher. Let me tell you, Dougie got a lot of complaints for that one.
Yeah, he should.
Then, number 5, the newest member of the Undisputed Crew, Mr. Josh Taylor.
No problem with that.
I think everybody's cool with that.
Yeah.
Number 6 is PBC's favorite, Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? He's PBC Stan's godson, So, I'm sure they're gonna complain that he should have been ranked higher, but whatever.
Yeah,
so,
why he not number 2?
Anyway. Number 7, Mr. Fiamon Lopez, number 7.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad, but it's kind of low.
Yeah, I feel like he should have been higher.
Me too. I feel like he's hovering around 5. 5-ish.
Should have been higher to me, but it is what it is. Number 8, and this has some controversial opinions with this one. Number 8 is one Francisco Estrada.
Hold on, what? It's Christmas again? Hell no, he don't deserve to be on that motherfucker. Not at no 8. He deserved to be like number 12 or some shit.
Yeah, maybe he can open up a 10. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
He ain't no fucking top 10. Nah.
Yeah.
And Chocolatito need his spot, to be honest.
Yeah.
And number 9 was the once reigning number 1 pound for pound guy, one Vasily Lomachenko.
Yeah, I don't think he can get that.
Mm-hmm.
And number 10 is the guy that most people don't really know much about, is Mr. Kazuto Ioka.
He probably should not be 10. I mean, he's top 15, but he's definitely
I think he's just outside the top 10.
He's more 11, 12 or some shit.
I think I'd probably put him like 12.
Like, cause they kind of forcing him on us. Like,
I've noticed that the past couple, like I've seen a few lists pop up recently, and I've been seeing them pop up there out of nowhere. I'm just saying, I've seen it. It's kind of weird.
No, he's good. He's
good, but I mean, top 10 good.
I mean, there's no way in hell that Jamel Charles is on this list.
And that was the biggest. That was the biggest complaint. And Dougie's mentions went to hell with that one. Why is Jamel Charlo not on this? Why is he not on here? And literally, Dougie did his best to try to defend Jamel Charlo not being top 10, and he did it horribly.
There's no way to defend that, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only 3-belt champion outside of Joshua that's not on the list, and Joshua probably not on the list. That's a whole different conversation, depending on how you want to.
That's heavyweight. And I would still put Joshua and Tyson Fury over some of these fucking names on this bitch too.
if you put a heavyweight on the list, I mean, you gotta, obviously you're judging Usyk off his cruiserweight work. You gotta put Joshua in. I mean, Joshua's resume is one of the best in boxing. So I mean, if you're gonna put Usyk there, Joshua would be there.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't feel like we should put a heavyweight on that list until they get fucking undisputed. First of all,
and I told LB this earlier. I feel like right now, Usyk is getting with the Ring magazine, they're giving him the Ward treatment of when Ward was top 2 pound for pound for years, like inactivity and all just based off of the Super 6. Like he coasted top 2 just based off of the Super 6 forever. Seems like Usyk trying to do it. That's what's happening.
Until they retire.
Meanwhile, everybody lost their fucking collective mind when Chocolatito get there, and I'm like, geez, like. Chocolatito got the number 1 offense, was ready to damn fight you for it.
Yeah.
So dude's just trying to fight over Inoue right now.
Yeah, and the reason why, because as we mentioned before, the lighter weight fighters don't get a whole lot of respect for their fight because they're less than 118 pounds, so they couldn't be. So clearly they can't fight anybody. So and Chocolatito got that. I mean, no one said shit when Ricardo Lopez was on there because it was understood like that dude was pound for pound. Or because that it wasn't. I don't think it was pushed because there were other fighters who were probably more high profile. But it seemed like once Chocolatito is like, okay, high, low. He's the first real lightweight fighter that's actually doing this shit. And it's like people lose their collective minds over this shit. And it's between that and now with Monster. It's like you guys like there's other fighters sub 126 people
What the fuck are these midgets doing on my pound for pound list?
Yeah, get these high school kids off my pound for pound list.
Yeah, like dudes be really upset, man. I'm just like, oh my god, like how can you say you a boxing fan? Look, if you don't know these guys' resumes and shit, like just cool, don't speak on it. But motherfuckers are lying and be like, well, they never fought anybody. Then you list all the opponents, they're like, fuck up out of here, man.
Yeah, because that's what Dougie and his Stam boys were like trying to discredit Charlo. Well, the competition wasn't that great. It was just one division. He lost to Harrison. He looked bad in the Harrison rematch. It was just like, come on.
How you look bad in the? Oh, see, it's the whole Golovkin logic again. Like, motherfucker could win clearly, and people will be like, oh, he didn't look good. Motherfucker KO'd Tony Harrison, and now it's like, well, he didn't look good.
But Harrison was winning like 7-0 before then.
What the fuck?
That's basically
what fight were they watching? Like, I don't think he won 7 rounds in both fucking fights. I could give him 4 rounds in one fight and 2 in the other. Hey, the fuck out of here, man.
So, needless to say, Ring Magazine had a Royal Rumble on their hands in the fucking in the Twitter mentions because and then it became they're white supremacists on in Ring Magazine they put the black man then and then it just became Dougie just became silly. Well, I'm a card carrying member, like inviting people to like sit down Dougie. Like,
that's corny when he does that shit.
I respect
corny.
I respected Dougie at one point, but he just came off the rails recently. Like the past couple of years,
he be company shilling it now.
So it's been crazy just seeing that. Saying I don't care about the placement. All right, I have my issues with it, but Jermell Charlo's subbing kind of is the only one that's like you got to be smoking that fucking diesel to fucking not put Charlo on there. Like, come on. What do you watch? Like, and to be perfectly honest, not only is he definitely top 10, I think he's closer to top 5 than top 10. He's right. I have him right outside my top 5.
Yeah, same here. I always said that. I always said within PBC, Jermell Charlo is legitimately he's done more than Errol Spence, and people don't like to hear that either for some reason.
Because you got to remember they didn't have Jared Hurd on the pound for pound list, and this is a guy who went through Harrison, Trout, and Lara, and everybody was relatively close to their prime.
Because I feel like Jermell Charlo doesn't get the respect even from the PBC lovers because he was never one of the favorites. He was never supposed to be one of the chosen
Where he's
one of
at,
the favorites, like a Spence or like a Thurman. People argued that Jamal was supposed to be the guy of the Charlo twins and not Jermell. People called him struggle Charlo, diet Charlo. Like
I mean, diet Charlo's because of the weight, though. Like he's not struggling.
I've always preferred the little Charlo to me. I've always liked him better as a boxer. So I don't know.
I mean, I prefer Jamal, but Jermell has the juice right now, and you can't. However you feel about him, you can't argue what he's done so far. You can't.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like I said, I'd rather hear arguments with him being pound for pound than hearing Jamal. Like Jamal definitely ain't no damn pound for pound. Like
nah, Jamal's not. Like when they got to keep using the fucking J-Rock uppercut as your damn highlight, and you're already at 160 for like the last almost 3 years, and they got to go to a 154 highlight in an even fight. By the way,
Yep, which one I was there for. By the way, that's a classic fight.
Gang.
Yep.
So it's kind of a reach, and like P said, like I actually think Jamal is the better boxer, the better fighter, but it's like the competition. The competition not even as close as Klitschko and I'm sorry, as Vitaly and Vladimir. Really,
Facts.
People kind of shit on Vitaly competition when they compare it to Vlad, but Vitaly competition was still good. Vlad didn't fight everybody at motherfucking heavyweight like that. He didn't get no Adam A.
Well, my argument between the twins was, my opinion was always, I thought that coming up, I thought Jermell was the better boxer, or he had more tools, whereas Jamal had the jab and the uppercut, but he uses his tools better than Jermell, and now Jermell just become power hungry and now just wants to get people out of there. He doesn't box like he used to. Derek James kind of took away a lot of what he used to do well, but it's working for him. So
yeah, exactly. Like I mean, like I said before, Jamal
because he loses rounds, but not necessarily fights. Like if you can't hurt him, you're not really gonna beat Jermell if you can't hurt him. And I think that's with Maul too.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the twins. Like, with Jamal Charlo, I think he should not be undefeated. I said it before. Like, I do think he should have a loss on his record, whereas Jamel should not have the loss on his record. That needs to be undefeated. Like,
are you talking about the Corbo fight for Jamal?
Yeah, the Corbo fight. Yeah,
me and Pat don't agree on that, but I get it.
You already know I don't like, but I say he has a bigger case for. Korobov has a bigger case for winning that fight than Tony Harrison has for winning the first fight or even being ahead in the second.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
And Korobov, like his career just got fucked. I think the fight after that.
Yeah.
Big time fight.
Honestly, Maul needed a rematch. I think his career would be completely different if he fought Korobov right after that and knocked him out.
Yeah, that was
the Brandon Adams was like,
Well, I think with Jamel, I was like his boxing, but I think he kind of tried to hunt for the KOs a little bit much. When he could actually just be, box somebody up. I just feel like he just trusts,
Who? Which one?
Jamel.
Oh, Jamel. Yeah.
I think he's really talented as a boxer, but he just kind of relies on his power a little too much. Whereas now Jamal seems like he's kind of boxing more. It seems like a little more.
Yep. So, anyways, back to this whole thingamajig that everybody's going crazy over, which is pound for pound, which always makes people go crazy. But that's another story for another day. If we had to have a whole pound for pound discussion and how crazy it makes people go, we'd be here forever. So
and we will be having our own discussion once we actually do fill out our own pound for pound list, like after in next month.
Yep. So anyway, Ring Gang, we took notice, and what I'm saying, we had a little poll, as always, because Ring Gang always has the best poll. So what I'm saying, always vote on the polls because we got that fire, we got them fire. You know what I'm saying?
John Blaze.
Yeah. But this poll was, which of these fighters on Ring Magazine's newly released top 10 pound for pound list is ranked too high? And the choices are Crawford at 3rd, Usyk at 4th, Estrada at 8th, or Loma at 9th.
And the results? Oh, P just dropped off.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Give me 1 sec.
Can you find? Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry. So, the results are Usyk is leading with 31% at fourth place. They say that he is too high. Followed closely by Terrence Crawford at third, 28%. And then right behind him is Estrada at eighth with 26% of the votes. And then Loma is 15%.
That just tells me like those 4 names are just all wrong on the list. that's which when I spoke to King P earlier today, that was the first thing I said. Really, like all of them need to be off that shit or at the bottom or something.
Yep, there's just two, but I personally went with Usyk at fourth. I just feel like that is way too high, especially for Usyk at heavyweight, who hasn't fought anybody at heavyweight. If he beats Joshua, then maybe I'll retract my statement. But I'm not gonna give him I'm not just gonna give him a continuous time pass for the Super Six, which felt like eons ago. Nah, we're not
Super
doing that.
6, you mean WB?
World Boxing Super Series.
World Super 6.
Sorry, I'm still thinking of the ward shit, but they're like WBS. Yes, I'm not giving him fucking a pass. Like he's not gonna get a continuous pass, especially when all these people since have overlapped him and done way better than him since.
Yeah. But okay, let me throw this at you. I would say Derek Chisora has been a better opponent than fucking Brooke and Amir Khan. And Mean Machine.
I mean, is that really saying much? Is that really
It isn't, but think about it. If you're pound for pound number 3, and motherfucking Derek Chisora is a better opponent than your last 3 fights.
I'm not even sure he is.
Huh?
I said I'm not even sure he is. Like, I don't know. Chisora is like old man huffing and puffing. Like we make
yeah, but and see, we forgot he was robbed against fucking what's the guy's name? Joshua Parker, Tony Parker. I mean, no.
Tony Parker, Joseph Parker.
Joseph Parker.
Yeah, I was just saying we're not playing. This ain't the Spurs. You know what I'm saying?
Tony Parker would have probably had a fucking better fight.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably pulled the trigger on that jab a lot sooner. Shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I try to put that in perspective as well. Like Chisora wasn't even supposed to damn be as competitive, let alone fucking get robbed. Well, and Usyk kind of handled him in a ho-hum fight, but he handled him.
Right, he did, because there was at least a couple occasions where Chisora looked like he could have gone, he could have been taken out of there by Usyk, whereas Joseph Parker, there was no chance that didn't happen once. In the
he got dropped too.
Yeah, which was that was even more pathetic. I'm like, you look, dog. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know,
so when I look at that, you know, like, but I wouldn't argue nobody picking Usyk over Crawford because they both in the same. They neck and neck, really. 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Both need to be like 10 and 9 or some shit. Or Usyk don't even need to be on pound for pound list to me personally. Crawford could still be on there, but at the way Crawford going, he need to be like anywhere between 10 to 8 or some shit.
Because the funny thing is too, I mean, this is the same thing. I mean, because eventually, I mean, this is the type of stuff that got Triple G taken off the pound for pound list after some time. You know, it's like, you know,
yeah.
You know, so I mean, it knows that me or LB don't say anything about Triple G not being on this because, like, you know, he's not.
No, I can understand why he's not being on there. You know, it's the activity, the opponents, but he's still knocking out who he faces, and you know, it's just you can honestly, like, to me, in my eyes, Golovkin ain't never been defeated. To me personally,
where
that's my opinion. I haven't seen the man lose. I've seen him being taken to the brink. I've seen him have some close fights, but I haven't walked away from a Golovkin fight and been like, damn. And whereas, you know, there's been everybody on that list, I walked away like, I don't know, like, well, at least from the damn, as far as performance wise, how people put over someone that hasn't been knocking guys out, hasn't been dominating, you know, shit like that.
Right.
I feel like if Golovkin unifies or he was to beat like Murata or Munguia, he could get back on. He could be number 10 or some shit. Especially if he win by KO. If he knock one of them out, because I treat knockouts higher. It's one thing to beat a contender or another champ, but when you knock them out, nah, that's like an extra bump.
Yeah, y'all might think I sound crazy, but the Ioka, I don't know. I'd have more argument putting Oscar Valdez closer to that list. I don't know. Am I tripping?
Nah, you're not. Honestly, fuck.
I was thinking he's kind of close to the 10. I don't know, in my opinion.
You honestly right. Like we've forgotten about Oscar Valdez. He's been undefeated. He just won a big upset KO of the year type win.
Mm-hmm.
Upset. It was an upset.
Yeah, because
upset.
That's because how you do it still matters to me. And even though he definitely had a dominating performance,
too many struggles
against Burchell, it's like I didn't forget about all those really, really bad fights that he escaped with a victory.
Yeah, but the thing is, for the most part, he kind of won them. It's like there's no fight where I felt like Oscar Valdez should have lost.
Got a gift. Yeah, that's the thing. He's close to that list.
He has that going for him. He's undefeated. Remember, we not doing the whole Canelo shit where it's like, well, I thought he lost to this nigga, that nigga, this dude, this, that. Oscar Valdez is, damn, he struggled with this nigga, he struggled with that nigga.
Yeah, but I think with him it's just he's just struggled too much in fights, so you don't expect him to struggle like that. And I think
so you kind of grade him a little harder.
You kind of get him on a curve in that regard.
Yeah, but with his win over Burchell, it's like, you gotta put respect on that.
You gotta put him. Yeah, you gotta give him.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about him. So shout out to Oscar Valdez and his people. I think really,
honestly, another one is freaking Manny should be really top 10. Really,
I was wondering,
I feel that way too.
And the funny thing is, by leaving Manny out the top 10, you're kind of jipping this matchup we have with Spence and Manny, especially because Spence is top 6. So, like,
we talked about that. We talked about that.
Everybody's moving up Spence. If he beats Manny, I mean, Spence is gonna, get higher up, obviously, right in the rank, for pound for pound.
Of course. Look. Whoever wins between Spence and Earl, I'm sorry, this nigga said between Spence and like he fighting himself. Whoever wins between Pacquiao and Earl Spence, you can literally say, and if it's by KO or cleared, somebody's getting hurt, dropped, whatever, a big fight like that, like you can honestly put them top 2, top 3 pound for pound, maybe even 1 if it's a knockout, maybe even 1. Like, you know what? I would have no problem with them being number 1, 2, or 3 at this point.
Who?
Whoever wins between Pacquiao and Earl Spence.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, myself, like I always said that in order for Spence for me to see him as being pound for pound top 5, he would have to. I mean, his legacy fights at that weight are either Crawford or Pacquiao, one or the other. And he needs those victories for me to actually take him as a top 5. Because he hasn't done any. I don't have a problem with him being pound for pound. But he's not top 5. I just don't, because he doesn't have that type of accomplishments for that.
Nah, he needed like a Thurman win or another somebody else. Maybe if he would have KO Mikey Garcia, I'd be a little different. But.
I wasn't fucking with that fight for a jump. So that fight.
Me either, but that's one of those like come on, man, fucking Trinidad is supposed to KO Jesse James Leija, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is true.
And fucking Jesse James Leija is that dude. So I'm just saying, like, there's certain fights. There's no disrespect. There's certain fights where you expect a certain type of outcome.
Agreed.
Right.
Especially, remember, this the same Spence that people were saying he was going to dog walk Porter and just that, and.
Yeah,
that never happened.
I thought that was supposed to happen, and I'm seeing
Man Down Productions, right?
I never thought that was going to happen, and it didn't happen, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, and then I see that, and then unfortunately, because I didn't watch the fight live because I had a prior engagement. But when I saw that fight, I was like, damn, Spence barely beat Porter. Like, I was like, that was my first reaction to that fight.
It was the same type of fight Golovkin had with Derevyanchenko. Honestly, where a knockdown made the decision.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. That's
And the one fight was bloody as hell, though. Dude was getting wobbled and hurt, like almost had a knockout. It was fuckery. The commentary was extra trash. Like he had an event that night.
Word. You know, but yeah, no, yeah, the pound for pound list. I mean, it looks at I mean, obviously, clearly, judging by the results that we got, yeah, I mean, those four. I mean, some of them could be on pound for pounds, but some just should not be as high as they are.
Loma shouldn't even be on. He lost, and everybody else since then has done better for the most part. So why is he even on there?
Yeah, Lomachenko's more like a 11 or something, like 12. Like maybe Ioka could be above him, but like if you was to say, to me, Crawford is the only person that still needs to be pound for pound on that list.
Right, because I mean,
not saying he's top 3, top 5, but he deserves to be top 10 on that list. But Estrada, no. Usyk, hell no. Lomachenko, no. Like that's it. So you change those three names.
I mean, to be fair, all I'll say is this: I know you're saying that because of the what most people would agree was a robbery in the last fight, but prior to then, his run was pretty good. So I'm not just gonna just immediately discount Estrada because he had a very good run.
But then I feel you. But even then, like. Chocolatito run has been better, especially from what he had to bounce back and accomplish.
Yeah, but Chocolatito, unfortunately, I mean, Chocolatito bounced back, and we're see Lomachenko. I mean, Lomachenko did technically bounce back from his first loss to Salido, and then he went up and captured belts in 3 weights. And in unified and at 135 at a weight that's probably not his best weight. So he did that, but I think now it's just because the loss to kind of took some of the win out of himself. Where Chocolatito was seen as finished. Like, I mean, Chocolatito, no one saw.
Everybody thought it was, everybody thought it was.
No one saw King Sword doing what he did against Chocolatito. Like, I mean, no one. Like,
everybody thought he was done too, and he came back. Chocolatito was kind of had a second, win, so to speak, after.
And then that fight last year with Yai Kafai, like, dude came back, so. I feel like, I'm tired of bad judges fucking up the momentum and fucking up the placement because half the placement on here is fucked up because of judges.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's be honest with this shit. So, I'm not even going to say nothing about Canelo because he's kind of earned it back with his performances. But, before, I mean, and then Crawford, he ain't fighting no fucking nobody. Then Usyk has been, injured or not doing nothing. But people still keeping him around. But, no one has that argument for Thurman. He should have been pound for pound top 10 at one point.
I mean, I thought he was. But Thurman, unfortunately, his career is, injuries has been the same thing. Injuries is just, injuries has kind of like deteriorated that guy from what he used to be.
He still wanted to do it. I remember a time when they had Broner top 10 pound for pound.
That I never really saw.
This is true. I remember that. They definitely had Broner top 10.
They did, but
they play around. They pick and choose, man. That's why pound for pound is like a fucking joke sometimes. Like, Jared Hurd was in top 10 pound for pound. And like I said, look who he beat. Look, when you beat a certain amount of quality opponents in a row consecutively and you're beating them clean, that has to count for something.
Word.
And he was knocking motherfuckers out. Like, that's like when people say, no, Monster don't deserve it. I'm like, Jason Maloney was a fucking lightweight, was a contender.
Yeah, no, Jason Maloney was definitely a rated fighter at that, at that weight. So, I mean, and he had never been knocked out, and Monster knocked him out with one punch.
So it's like, I mean, it just come down to it. Everybody's not using the same criteria for everybody. That's my biggest gripe with pound for pound. People
I'm surprised I didn't see more "Where's Tank" complaints.
No.
Nah, Tank. Look,
Tank
is close, but he's not top 10 just yet. Like, he beat Barrios. Maybe we could talk because I feel like the Barrios fight is a real fight.
See, I mean, it's a real fight. It's just for the wrong reason. I just can't get over his Reggie belt hunting. I can't. I absolutely hate it.
I feel you, but I try to look at the opponents and not just the belts.
The thing is, though, Barrios, it's hard to, because at 140, obviously we know what the top 140 fighters are, and Barrios isn't really a top 140 fighter. Like, he isn't. I can't.
He's more lower top 10, like, because 140 has been kind of cleared out.
He could be 5 or 6 or 7. I mean, yeah.
He's definitely top 10. He could be 6, 7, or 5. Because I mean, right now at 140,
Taylor,
it's in the rebuilding stages. Like
Regis, Ramirez,
you got Ramirez, Zapata,
Prograis. I mean,
Prograis, Barbosa Jr.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of heavy hitters, and I don't think Barrios separated himself from any of those guys.
Now he hasn't. That's why I said he's still top 10. But if you can put him lower top 10. And I'm not going to say anything because he has to have a type of fight with a notable person that we can really engage him on. He had one fight that a lot of people thought he lost or should have been a draw. Yeah. This is his second opportunity.
Because I think a guy like Matthias would probably brutally knock out Barrios or hurt Barrios, but you know what I mean. So I know what Pat means. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk that he probably shouldn't have to take, because here's my thing. Like, I mean, Tank has far better fights at 130 at 135 than he does 140, and that's why.
Everybody wants to see those, him mix it up with those guys at 135. But unfortunately, Leonard Ellerbe is running his mouth all, well, that clown Teofimo will never get the fight. Like, why? Like, why would you say that? Stop.
Yeah,
there's too many agendas in boxing. That's all it is.
Yeah, and like, I mean, Teofimo. I mean, whether he likes it or not, Teofimo is the man at that weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, he's not undisputed, but he's definitely the lineal champion at that weight. Yeah. So it's like, if
he had the most clout, and everybody else just gotta get in line or set themselves apart, and hopefully that happens.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. I mean, Tank can't ignore him. Like, if Tank wants. Tank is going to have to, like, Tank has fights at both 130 135 that can easily get him onto the top 10 list if he takes them and he makes it happen. But yeah,
hell, eventually I'd like to see a Tank Colbert fight.
Exactly. It's easy to make too. It's easy to make.
Yeah,
but you know how it is. The easiest fights to make be like the hardest ones to make.
You know what I'm saying? Facts.
So it's like, We could go on all this all day, but like I said, just to end this, I'll ask y'all each, like, who y'all think is most deserving out of those 4 people that need to stay on the list. Me, I already said Crawford. Like, what's y'all opinion?
I agree. Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford, easy. Yeah, Crawford.
Yeah, I mean, Crawford. Crawford is extremely dominant. Like, I mean, yes, Crawford is not the type of opponents that most people want him to fight. But he's knocked out every single one of his opponents at that weight, like some of them brutally. So,
I mean, the only thing is, I'll say at welterweight, outside of the Horn fight, I don't think he's been extremely dominant. I think he's been very good, but he hasn't been as dominant as he was at the lower weights.
I can't forget that career mode glitch.
I mean, I was there too. I mean, we were there.
Yeah, we were there, Pat. We were both there for this.
You talking about the Mean Machine fight?
Yeah, the Mean Machine fight. Yeah.
Oh, I know y'all niggas got that text from me in a heartbeat. Lucky it wasn't no damn WhatsApp message. I would be like,
yeah. Like, I mean, where we're all sitting, like all the guys that were covering the fight, and we're all like, he's like, did Crawford get knocked down? Crawford get knocked down? Like, you got knocked down. Like that was the whole chatter up where we were. Like, you got knocked down. Like, and the first thing is, we all had monitors at the area that we were at. Like, each one of us was like, yeah, that's he got knocked out. Like, why didn't the ref call that shit? It was a hell of a night.
Yeah. So I mean, I know we got other shit to do. So if y'all want to end it here, and we can fix the pound for pound list when we all do our list in about a week or two, and keep it moving.
Absolutely, but
Ring Magazine, step your shit up.
Yeah, Ring Magazine, step aside for Ring Gang. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Facts.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely end it with some final thoughts. Pilot, I'll let you hit your final thought first. I know you probably got some other shit you got to do first.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. Hope they don't hear me. No, but glad to be here. You know what it is, Ring Gang Radio all day, every day, and even on Wednesdays. Today's Wednesday, right?
Shit. Yeah, today is Wednesday.
Yeah. Actually, Saturday's gonna be some good low key good boxing cards. I'm going under the radar, of course, with the Floyd shit going on, but I mean, definitely check it out. But you know, ringingradio.com on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Or making TikTok? No TikTok, right? I'm not making it.
No, we don't do no damn TikTok around here.
Just making sure. But yeah, you know what it is.
That's what it is, yo. AOP.
It's coming up soon, you know, uppercut season on TikTok. You know, y'all could knock niggas out on that shit and TikTok.
Uppercut. I mean, hey, if niggas want if niggas want to start that TikTok account and start posting some uppercut season videos, go viral, shit, nigga. Make it happen.
Yeah, you got the soundtrack already made. Like, what's he waiting for? Start knocking motherfuckers out.
Facts. AOP. What final thoughts, bro?
Ring Magazine, step your ish up. Dougie Fisher, you being a lame, stop it, cut it out. You being a real bitch right now. So, anyways,
I think that dude follows us too. If I'm not mistaken, I think he follows us.
I don't know, but he's being real sensitive right now.
Facts.
So other than that, you already know what it is. Ring Gang all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? You know where to find us. ringgangradio.com, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We got some stuff in the works. Uppercut season out. Go rock with that. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is.
That's what it is. ALB, man. Final thoughts?
Oh, man. Shout outs to everybody. RTDZ. Shout outs to RTDZ. Big Boom, Fight Architect. Prolific Genius. Ring Gang TV. Clownarchy, my dude. Clownarchy. Shout outs on Prolific. We got some dope shit in the works, man. He just sent me some animation earlier with the damn logo hitting the heavy bag and rapping and shit. So, like,
that's what it is.
We just got clean that shit up and put that out there. Got a new Ring Gang intro coming soon. And Last Mission been rocking for a minute, but this might be the last year for that shit. but yeah, Return of the Sample Kings is out now. Uppercut season out now. Everywhere, streaming everywhere. Y'all go and get that video on YouTube, video on my IG channel, the Soul Wars. We just doing big shit, and Ring Gang taking over. It is what it is. Get down or lay down.
Facts, man. And pretty much my only final thought is Showtime, man. I mean, like I said, Showtime, not really Showtime. PBC, like, if you're a PBC fanboy, like, I mean, there should be a whole bunch. There should be the same energy, like when like for all the caping for some of the bad cards that PBC has put on with its notable fighters. There should be some equally the same attention for cards that for less notable fighters on there. That's actually pretty good, and it's actually kind of weird too that Haney versus Linares is getting more attention than the Showtime card. Usually, it doesn't work that way because most of the zone cards don't really get that type of attention unless Canelo's on there.
I mean, Haney is a premier young fighter, so I can understand why the attention is on him.
Now, I see the opponent really. Linares is bringing that because people want to see how Haney fight. I mean, Haney fights somebody who's as talented as him. So I think if this was Haney fighting a regular jobber that he expected to sweet science to death, I don't think this fight would be getting the noise. Linares is helping with that. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, but it's just surprising me that the Showtime card, the triple header, is not getting it's getting like less attention, like seriously like less.
It's Ramirez Taylor for this week.
Plus I heard that. Plus I heard the WBC said that the winner of this fight on Saturday has to face the winner of the Jojo Diaz Fortuna fight next. So they're raising the stakes.
Okay.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, and I know, and then also I know Teofimo said that if it gets by Kambosos that he wants Haney next, and I mean we don't know if that's going to be Cap or if that's Cap or not, but we'll have to take him for his word. I mean he hasn't done anything that says that that he's bullshitting. So
he's fought enough threats where I could let him get his word. This isn't Ryan Garcia saying this.
Yeah, that's true though. But it's like Showtime is putting out a dope triple header. Like Like, I mean, it's like, I mean, and like I said, just like P said, it is like Ramirez Ted. Like, I mean, all three fights on there are pretty good on paper. Like, like two of them might actually be straight up fades. So
yeah, we getting some knockouts. So
yeah,
I just wish they didn't have it on so late. I don't know why they're starting it so late.
Yeah, in a way, it works for me because I have a barbecue that particular day. So at least I know by the time I'm ready to leave, I can get back in time to actually watch it. So I don't have to miss any of it. So
it could have been 9 o'clock at 9:30.
Yeah, a triple header at 10 o'clock, though, is just like, I mean, there must be a method to the madness, or they saw something in their analytics. But
I think everybody has their ass at home by 10 o'clock. But it's fucking Saturday. Like,
yeah.
I don't know the rhyme or reason behind that shit.
Yeah, no, but hey, I'm just happy that I was like, yeah, at least I won't miss that because I know I'm gonna miss part of the Haney Linares. But bottom line is,
what time does the Haney Linares fight start? I'm sorry.
I think it starts at 8.
2 hours, so we gonna see some bullshit undercard fight. Wait. Shane Mosley Jr. Okay.
And Jason quickly.
Wait, the actual Haney Linares fight starts at 8.
No. The card starts at. I mean, that fight probably. Okay. Yeah, that fight will probably come out either probably.
They could have done a better. Oh man, I wish it would have been spaced out better, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that would probably be in the afternoon, like like 5 o'clock or some shit like that. So at least the shit would be done by the time the Showtime card will be done.
The shit needed to start at 7, really.
Yeah, no, but
3 hour card be done. Yeah, because as soon as Showtime cards start, I'm turning it there. So.
Yeah, and then the Haney Linares shit is going to be. I mean, it's going to happen either.
I'm gonna see that 5th round knockout later.
Yeah, honestly, I might have to watch that DAZN card after the Showtime card because I probably won't watch it live. But yeah, the bottom line is, yeah, that Showtime card though is dope. And don't sleep on that card. Like I said, just like all the other underrated Showtime cards have been mostly fire. So like, this one is the same. Like, don't miss it. That's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, other than that, they're just follow us at every social media like anything that we're on. YouTube, Podomatic, Anchor, Spotify, all that. We're Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on. Just type in Ringing in Google, and it'll take you where you need to be. Especially our YouTube, though, and of course our webpage. If you want to hit that Patreon or PayPal, if you film our content, feel free to do so. But other than that, just tell your friends about us. Tell us, sub to our content. Tell your friends to sub to our content as well, and then we can all be friends. You know what I mean? So yeah. So for myself, Pat Scope, the New representative. For LB Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist. For King P, Bodega P, and for Conscious Pilot. This has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk. Where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.